Scott Reid, CTV News political commentator, is standing by. Your take on this strike, Scott?
Well, it's stuck at the bargaining table. This is a dance of dollars really right now. And there's no question that remote work remains an important priority. But I think right now it's the place between where you just mentioned. And I think if you look at 3%, what's north of 3%, government doesn't want to contribute to so-called wage inflation. But my guess is that we're going to end up in a situation where they're going to go 3.5, 3.6. Maybe there'll be a couple of special deals here and there. But I think this thing gets remedied in the next few days because I don't think it's in anybody's interest to maintain it going on and on and on.
I'm also curious, where you think public opinion lands on this debate in terms of what the workers are asking for versus what the government is offering, Scott.
I'm smiling because there was a poll out this morning and it talked about, the fact that a good chunk of Canadians support the wage demands and a really big chunk of Canadians support the public service with respect to the demand for remote work. I think that poll is measuring what people want for themselves. I think people are saying, yeah, I'd like you go out and win that public service because I'd like to reserve the possibility to also say I'd like to have some remote work with my employer. So we'll have to see how it unfolds. I think, the real measure of public opinion when it comes to this kind of strike is taken when services become noticeably interrupted, when the public is inconvenienced. We're not at that stage yet. And when it gets to that stage, if they haven't been able to reach a settlement, they either will move fast and get a settlement or they'll bring in back to work legislation. And that's how these things end.
All right. I also want to ask you, too, about what we were hearing in question period about 10, 15 minutes ago. The Conservatives and the Bloc continue to hammer the government and the Prime Minister over the Trudeau Foundation and ties to China. We're now hearing Canada's Auditor General saying she will not be probing those donations, saying that's basically beyond her mandate here. Questions about the Prime Minister's trip at Christmas time to a long-standing family friend who made donations to the Trudeau Foundation. Your read on how this story is playing out, Scott?
Well, the Prime Minister is almost into his 10th year, right? He's in his 10th year as the Liberal leader, almost into his 10th year. It's within a couple of years, his 10th year, a decade as Prime Minister. And boy, oh boy, welcome to incumbency. This is when you start to accumulate these. So on the specific kinds of issues, I think obviously it is good sport for the opposition to pound away on the Trudeau Foundation and the China connection because they're able to say, well, it's called the Trudeau Foundation. Doesn't take Sherlock Holmes to make the connection. Now, it may be disingenuous, it may be a reach, it may be overstating, but nevertheless, the opposition are going to reach it and they're going to pound away on it in question period. The Auditor General thing makes me shake my head. It makes me shake my head this way, Todd. Often when I was in the Prime Minister's office and you're working on an issue and then somebody or something outside of your control makes your life harder. When the Trudeau Foundation, which is genuinely operating independently of the Prime Minister and the Prime Minister's office, when they decided they wanted to recommend that the Auditor General audit their books as a way of verifying their side of the story, my God, I immediately shook my head and said, why would you do that? Why would you make it seem as though you're a creature of government? Why would you suggest that you're an institution of the federal government when the Prime Minister is trying day in and day out to make the distinction clear? And now you see the Auditor General says, well, it's not even within my ambit to look at you. That was a real boneheaded move. And no wonder the board and the executive resigned. Clearly, that place is a jungle inside.
Scott Reid, political commentator. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you.